A beam supported on more than two supports is called A. Simply supported beam, B. Fixed beam, C. Overhanging beam, D. Continuous beam. The correct answer is continuous beam. In a leaf spring the length of all the leaves are equal. A. True, B. False, C. D. The correct answer is false. Two beams, one of circular cross-section and the other of square cross-section, have equal areas of cross-sections. When these beams are subjected to bending, A. Both beams are equally economical, B. Square beam is more economical, C. Circular beam is more economical, D. None of these. The correct answer is square beam is more economical. A beam extending beyond the supports is called A. Simply supported beam, B. Fixed beam, C. Overhanging beam, D. Cantilever beam. The correct answer is overhanging beam. The compression test is carried on materials A. Ductile, B. Brittle, C. Malleable, D. Plastic. The correct answer is brittle. A closely coiled helical spring is cut into two halves. The stiffness of the resulting spring will be A. Same, B. Double, C. Half, D. 1/4. The correct answer is double. When a material is loaded with an elastic limit, the material will regain its shape and size when the load is removed. A. Agree, B. Disagree, C. D. The correct answer is agree. The critical neutral axis of a reinforced cement concrete beam is based on the principle that the neutral axis is situated at the center of gravity of a given section. A. True, B. False, C. D. The correct answer is true. The bending stress in a beam is bending moment. A. Equal to, B. Less than, C. More than, D. Directly proportional to. The correct answer is directly proportional to. The tensile strength of ductile materials is its compressive strength. A. Equal to, B. Less than, C. Greater than, D. The correct answer is greater than. In case of an under-reinforced beam, the depth of actual neutral axis is that of the critical neutral axis. A. Same as, B. Less than, C. Greater than, D. The correct answer is less than. The maximum shear stress developed in a beam of circular section is the average shear stress. A. Equal to, B. 3 times, C. 1.5 times, D. Twice. The correct answer is 3 times. When a body is subjected to a direct tensile stress in one plane, then maximum normal stress occurs at a section inclined at to the normal of the section. A. 0, B. 30, C. 45, D. 90. The correct answer is 0. For no tension condition in the base of a short column of circular section, the line of action of the load should be within a circle of diameter equal to of the main circle. A. 1/2, B. 1/3, C. 1/4, D. 1/8. The correct answer is 1/4. A rectangular beam of length L supported at its two ends carries a central point load W. The maximum deflection occurs A. at the ends, B. at L3 from both ends, C. at the center, D. none of these. The correct answer is at the center. A leaf spring is supported at the A ends and loaded at the center, B center and loaded at the ends, C ends and loaded anywhere, D center and loaded anywhere. The correct answer is center and loaded at the ends. The unit of stress in SI units is A n mm2, B kn mm2, C n m2, D any one of these. The correct answer is any one of these. The modulus of elasticity for mild steel is approximately equal to A 10 kN mm2, B 80 kN mm2, C 100 kN mm2, D 210 kN mm2. The correct answer is 210 kN mm2. The Rankines formula holds good for A short columns, B long columns, C both short and long columns, D weak columns. The correct answer is both short and long columns. A rectangular beam subjected to a bending moment is shown in the below figure. The upper layer of the beam will be in tension. A true, B false, C, D. The correct answer is false. In case of eccentrically loaded struts is preferred. A solid section, B hollow section, C composite section, D reinforced section. The correct answer is composite section. In a stress-strain diagram as shown in the below figure, the curve represents A mild steel, B soft brass, C low carbon steel, D cold rolled steel. The correct answer is soft brass. A thick pressure vessel is always used for the generation of steam as it can withstand high pressures. A true, B false, C, D. The correct answer is false. Shear modulus is the ratio of A linear stress to linear strain, B linear stress to lateral strain, C volumetric strain to linear strain, D shear stress to shear strain. The correct answer is shear stress to shear strain. The assumption made in the theory of the reinforced cement concrete beam is that A. all the tensile stresses are taken up by the steel reinforcement only, B. there is a sufficient bond between steel and concrete, C. the steel and concrete are stressed within its elastic limit, D. all of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. When there is a sudden increase or decrease in shear force diagram between any 2 points, it indicates that there is A point load at the 2 points, B no loading between the 2 points, C uniformly distributed load between the 2 points, D uniformly varying load between the 2 points. The correct answer is point load at the 2 points. The steel bars in a reinforced cement concrete beam are embedded of the beam, A in the center, B near the bottom, C near the top, D at any position. The correct answer is near the bottom. The distance between the centers of rivets in adjacent rows of zig-zag riveted joint is called back pitch. A true, B false, C, D. The correct answer is false. In a watch, the spring is used to store strain energy. This energy is released A to stop the watch, B to run the watch, C to change the time, D all of these. The correct answer is to run the watch. A flitched beam is used to A change the shape of the beam, B effect the saving in material, C equalize the strength in tension and compression, D increase the cross-section of the beam. The correct answer is equalize the strength in tension and compression. A closely coiled helical spring of stiffness K is cut into n equal parts. The stiffness in each part of the spring will be A Kn, B Nk, C Nk, D Nk2. The correct answer is Nk. The ratio of the lateral strain to the linear strain is called A modulus of elasticity, B modulus of rigidity, C bulk modulus, D Poisson's ratio. The correct answer is Poisson's ratio. Hooke's law holds good up to A yield point, B elastic limit, C. Plastic limit. D. Breaking point. The correct answer is elastic limit. The shear force at the ends of a simply supported beam carrying a uniformly distributed load of W per unit length is A0 at its both ends, B WL at one end and WL at the other end, C WL2 at one end and WL2 at the other end, D WL22 at one end and WL22 at the other end. The correct answer is WL2 at one end and WL2 at the other end. The shear modulus of most materials with respect to the modulus of elasticity is A equal to half, B less than half, C more than half, D none of these. The correct answer is less than half. In a thin cylindrical shell subjected to an internal pressure P, the ratio of longitudinal stress to the hoop stress is A12, B34, C1, D1.5. The correct answer is 12. The maximum shear stress is the algebraic difference of maximum and minimum normal stresses. A equal to B 1/4, C 1/2, D twice. The correct answer is 1/2. The bending moment of a cantilever beam of length L and carrying a uniformly distributed load of W per unit length is at the free end. A0, B WL4, C WL2, D WL. The correct answer is 0. The ultimate tensile stress for mild steel is the ultimate compressive stress. A equal to, B less than, C more than, D. The correct answer is more than. The direct stress induced in a long column is as compared to bending stress. A same, B more, C less, D negligible. The correct answer is negligible. The shear force of a cantilever beam of length L carrying a uniformly distributed load of W per unit length is at the free end. A0, B WL4, C WL2, D WL. The correct answer is 0. The extension of a circular bar tapering uniformly from diameter D1 at one end to diameter D2 at the other end and subjected to an axial pull of P is the extension of a circular bar of diameter D1 D2 subjected to the same load P. A equal to, B less than, C greater than, D. The correct answer is equal to. In case of an over-reinforced beam, the depth of actual neutral axis is the same as that of the critical neutral axis. A true, B false, C, D. The correct answer is false. The thickness of a thin cylindrical shell with hemispherical ends is that of spherical ends. A equal to, B more than, C less than, D. The correct answer is more than. The assumption made in Eulers column theory is that A. The failure of column occurs due to buckling alone. B. The length of column is very large as compared to its cross-sectional dimensions. C. The column material obeys Hooke's law. D. All of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. The limit of eccentricity for no tensile conditions for a column of circular section of diameter D is A D4, B D8, C D12, D D16. The correct answer is D8. The bending moment at the ends of a simply supported beam will be 0. A yes, B no, C, D. The correct answer is yes.